think I'm live. Ooh, and I've got a comment already. It's awesome. Hi, Brian. Oh, let's see. I have to sign in to do the chat. Let's see. Got it. Okay. You'll have to forgive me because I'm totally new at this. Oh, hi, Jake. So there's a little bit of a learning curve here, I think. Jake, can you hear me okay? Is the sound all right? Let's see. Okay, great. Oh, thanks, Brian. Awesome. I'm sure there's a bit of a lag, so I'll ask a question and then I get a response back a bit later. So, yeah, there we go. Thanks, Jake. Awesome. Oh, and my sister is here. Yay. This is awesome. This is so fun. I think, especially during COVID when we've all been feeling quite isolated, it's nice to feel like we can at least get together like this. And it's definitely different from Zoom. Zoom is like, now there's like an association with Zoom now, I think. We're like, oh no. Maybe it's just the novelty of YouTube live streaming. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, so some of you may know, some of you may not, but I posted a little bit about, well, I'm sure most of you know actually because you're here. But so that passage that I posted, I got a bunch of responses back of people telling you what fingering they would use, and it was so interesting. And one of them in particular just like blew everything up. It was just like one of those things where you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to quit now. It was such a good solution. I might wait for a few more people to join before I start getting into that. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I feel like this as an exercise, it says a lot about your brain and how your brain works and how analytical you are, how creative you are, and it was really interesting to see some people be like, I just don't even know what else you would do, and other people thinking of crazy things that I never would have thought of. And so it was really so fun to try all of them out too. And I have them all loaded up and ready to go, and I will show them to you in a few minutes probably. But yeah, who else is here? We've got 8 viewers. That is so awesome. Say hi. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how your day's going. Like I've been saying, I want to talk about a lot of different stuff and whatever is on your mind, because I know that when I'm practicing, I'm thinking about stuff all the time, and sometimes I think, oh, maybe I should, make a YouTube video about that, and then I think, oh, but that's so much work. And it's much more fun to have a conversation about these things rather than just a one-sided, here's what I think about it, because that's boring. And it's nice to hear what other people have to say. So, yeah, let's see here. Oh, from KS, Kansas. I always forget my state abbreviations. Hi, Chilloren. I know you've been following me for a long time, and you always write the sweetest comments. So thanks for being here. Yeah. I will tell you one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is, and my sister Madeline and I had a lot of conversations about this, is how much work musicians today have to do besides being musicians and being artists. Madeline came to visit me in November, and we did a bunch of recording for some virtual concerts we have coming up. And we did all of the recording and video and everything ourselves. And I've been doing that for a little while, but I think it was Madeline's first time really seeing like the whole process of, you know, setting up the recording equipment with the microphones and the cables and so many things. And our first day recording, it took us maybe at least 4 hours just to set up all that stuff. And, you know, Madeline was saying to me, but we're musicians. Shouldn't we be just having to focus on the music stuff? And I agree. Like, yes, I think we should. But the problem is that in today's world, we really have to be able to record ourselves. Today's currency is videos and recordings. So unless you have the money to hire someone to do that, you've got to do it yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to be kind of existing in a bubble. Well, let's see. We got some more comments here. Awesome. Yay. Yes, this is live. Argentina. Awesome. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the Vivaldi. That one was so fun. I remember I found that Vivaldi. Well, it was shown to me by my friend Lewis. And it's a old YouTube video of Cecilia Bartoli singing it, and like her energy is just crazy. She is so cool, and I just thought, oh my gosh, that would be so fun to do on cello. So I kind of had been thinking about doing that for such a long time, and then when the whole aria project came up as something that we would actually do, that was one of the first ones I thought of. So I'm really glad that you like that one. Oh, thanks, Cello Ren. Oh, we've got another Vivaldi. Awesome. Oh my gosh, wow, everybody loves that Vivaldi. That's so cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure how it would do because it's not really a well-known aria, or at least I didn't know about it. Me not knowing about it doesn't say a whole lot. That's for sure. But yeah, that was oh, thanks, Madeline. Yeah, it's been crazy. I've been driving myself a little crazy the past few days doing all the editing for those videos. But you guys, this is so cool. Madeline is she recorded Spiegel im Spiegel by Arvo Pärt, and she played not only the violin part but also the piano part. So yeah, I had a lot of fun editing that one because I was able to get a shot of like the piano and then next to the piano, so you see her playing the piano and the violin in the same shot. So it's pretty fun, and she looks really pretty in those shots, gotta say. Yeah, cool. Well, I'm gonna start talking about this the fingering challenge because it was so interesting. And let's see, so give me one moment while I figure out how to share my other window here, because I want to image slideshow. Is that what I want? Maybe. Oh, I think that might be what I want. Okay. Let's see. Too many options. It is too confusing. Image files. Okay, let's add some image files. Slide mode. Manual. Okay, let's try this. Or you know what might be actually easier is if I do a window capture. I'm sorry guys, this is the first time I'm doing this, so it is a learning curve for sure. Okay, so let's figure out how to do this. Add source. I should have done this before. Sorry. Ooh, I can move myself around. That's useful. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to put the picture there. Let's do... Shoot, I don't know how to do this. This is gonna take too long, and I'm afraid that I'm boring you. Okay, so I'm gonna read them to you. Maybe I will figure that out for next time. Cool. So, where's the music? I want to show you the music. It's on my stand. One second. Here we go. Okay. So I realized later that I didn't even tell you what this passage is from. So it is from this set of pieces by Jocelyn Hagan, who's incredible. She lives here in Minnesota and does a lot of choral composing. But she's like one of those insanely talented people, and I asked her to write some music for cello, and she did, and I'm super grateful. And the sheet music is going to be coming out this year, so that's pretty exciting. So you all get to play it for real too. And so this little passage is from the movement called Bound. And let's see here. This is the old version. Oh yeah, so it's right near the beginning. Oh, that's my old fingering. So I changed my fingering a few, oh, it's not a mirror. Okay, there we go. I changed my fingering a few times on this, a bunch of times. And it's been a journey, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so the most common fingering. Oh, hey, Albert. Hey, thank you. So nice to see you here. I feel very supported and very loved right now. Thank you all so much. Okay, so the there is one fingering that a lot of people used, and it was the most common one. And it was actually to start on the C string and kind of wind your way up. So like that. So the reason that I considered that one and then discarded it was because going from first finger to fourth finger a couple of times, this kind of crawly motion here is it puts your hand in a closed position. When you're in extended position, for example, your fingers are pointing down towards the bridge, so you have a little bit more agility there. Once you put fourth finger down, my hand is now pointing more perpendicular to the strings, and so that, I feel for myself, makes me a little less agile. So that's the reason that I don't do that one. So then I started thinking, well, how do I keep my hand in a bit more of an extended position so that it's not such a big deal to end up here? And so that's when I thought, okay, I'm going to start on the G string. And then instead of doing 4-3 on the F and the B, like we would normally do in fourth position, I'm using third finger on F and second finger on B. And that way, my hand stays in the same position here and here. And then I only have basically this one shift to mess with. And so almost everybody also suggested doing thumb 1-3 on the last. Like that. And I was doing that for a very long time too, but I've recently changed my fingering. Thumb, two, two, and thumb at the same time. And the reason I'm doing that is I found that it was so not reliable to do thumb one, because that's not the position that we're used to playing in. It sort of puts your hand in this like an in-between position situation, and I just like, I've been playing this for a couple years now, and it just never worked in live performance. Like, I could get it in the practice room, but we all know we're once you get into a live situation, it is totally different. So so once I changed it to thumb, two, two, and thumb, suddenly it felt so much more solid somehow. And obviously everybody's solutions are going to be different, and everyone's hands are different. It's going to feel different. So that's my solution. But I want to show you this one that totally blew all the others out of the water. And that is this one. And I just love this because it's so creative, you know. Another one that I got that I found was interesting: 1, 4, open, 3, 2, or is that right? Shifting up here, 1, 3, 1, playing those notes down there. Again, I didn't find that to be very reliable, so that's why I didn't do it. But that fingering with the double harmonics just really blew my mind. And so thank you so much for submitting all of those. And let's see. Yeah, you guys were awesome. That was really so interesting to see all of them. And choosing fingerings is such a personal thing, and they really do evolve over years. And, you know, sometimes the fingering that I start out with feels good, and then a month later it will feel terrible. I do not know why. But yeah, there you have it. So that was really fun. Thanks, guys. Christopher, oh, thank you. Yeah, working with Brooklyn Duo is so much fun. They're just wonderful people, and they're so creative too. I love all of the projects that they do, and they're so open to doing all sorts of different things, and they're super supportive. Hi, Moises. It's good to see you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, well, what have you guys been thinking about? Is there anything you would like to talk about? Anything you've been wondering about? My sister and I had a funny conversation about teaching yesterday. Anybody here who teaches, there's always that one student who's like, I don't know. What did you work on this week? I don't know. Well, did you practice at all? I don't know. You're like, you have to know something. I find that a lot of students will say that, or they'll say, oh, I forgot. And then I always say to them, well, did you forget, or did you just not do it because you didn't have time? And they're like, I didn't have time. I would prefer they just say, I didn't have time. Oh, thanks, Madeline. How do you know when you found a good fingering? Okay, yeah, so this is a good question. I had sort of changed my thinking about fingerings when I started working with Zul Bailey. He has this really radical process for finding a fingering, and for him, basically, he's just like, I should get it the first time I try it. And I'm like, okay, for us mere mortals, that doesn't quite work the same way. Obviously, we have to try it a few times before it works, before we know if it works. But yeah, I think there is something to be said for that, where, you know, it should work relatively quickly. And if it doesn't, you know, keep experimenting, keep trying different things. there will be some amount of practicing that you have to do to get it to work. But yeah, and I think also the less you have to think about it, the better. You know, none of us want to have those fingers where you're like, okay, I have to memorize like which finger I'm going to do next, and how, and the order and where I shift and all that stuff. You want it to be kind of like subconscious. And, you know, also what I've been thinking about recently is that there's really something to be said for having like, you know, the fingering that you feel musically gets the job done, and then the fingering that will get you through that live performance. Because I was actually thinking about that tricky passage. I want to use that fingering with the double harmonics in fourth position for live performances, because you just don't have to worry about it. And it's like one of those passages that's like a little bit of a throwaway passage. So I'm not looking for the height of artistry in terms of the fingering for that one. I kind of was just like, how do I get this done? So other times, though, you do want a fingering that sounds really beautiful and is expressive, and maybe that's more difficult. Maybe you work harder on that, and it's worth it to get the results from that in the end. So yeah, that's my long answer to how do you know you found a good fingering? Will I play with Brooklyn Dew again sometime? Yes, I hope so. I mean, obviously COVID has thrown a monkey wrench into everyone's plans, but I was talking with Patrick not too long ago about future projects, and I kind of want to do some string quartet stuff, and we were talking about doing some more piano cello stuff, and I was thinking about ideas for that. And so yeah, I think once COVID calms down, we'll probably get something going, and that'll be fun. So yeah, thanks for asking. Christopher. That's so sweet. Thank you. I'm hoping that this will grow, you know. I'm hoping that we will just like kind of build more of a community here, and we can like talk about a lot of different stuff, and yeah, it would be super fun. Well, thanks, Carlitos5336. That's awesome. Yeah, so also I wanted to mention I've got a new arrangement up on my website. So one of the pieces that Madeline and I recorded in November is Dance Macabre by Saint-Saëns, and I arranged it for violin and cello, obviously. And it's so fun. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And Madeline put in some really fun violin virtuosic stuff towards the end. And it's so frustrating because I've been working on editing that together, and like Kodai duo, and what else did we do? Oh, my Bach double arrangement. And I can't share it yet because they're for these virtual concerts coming up. The first one is at the end of this month, and let me look that up because I always forget. You know how people post those videos that are like concert announcements, and they're always like, Friday the 13th at 7 p.m. this place, this time I will be doing this thing. I have to rehearse that so much because I cannot keep that information in my head. The couple times I've had to do that, I have like 5 takes or something because I always get something wrong or I forget, and I'm like, oh. Okay, so El Paso Pro Musica is our presenter. Let's see. Okay, so Saturday, January 30th is our live concert. And, you know, I don't think that we have a time for that one yet. I do not know what time that will be. Yeah, on their website it just says January 30th, 2021. But yeah, the program's going to be really fun. We've got Kodai Duo, my Bach double arrangement, And by the way, I've sold over 100 copies of my Bach double arrangement, which is insane. And thank you all so much for buying it and supporting me in that way. And it's like so cool for me. I just feel it's so strange and so cool. So thank you. And so we've got those two pieces, the new Danse Macabre, the sheet music, like I said, up on my website. So feel free to play around with that. And let's see. And then Madeline's doing the Spiegel im Spiegel, where she's playing both violin and piano, which is so cool. She's going to be doing another one of those in February. Let's see. And then, oh yeah, so the other piece on there that I think, okay, two more. So the other piece is a new cello sonata. It's a one movement piece by Peter John, and is gorgeous. And it was a Christmas present for some family friends. They commissioned a cello sonata for the kids for Christmas, which was such an amazing gift. I was like, that's a great and creative Christmas present. I love that. And so, yeah, and then the last thing that's going to be on that program is a new song that Peter and I wrote, and I'm singing on it, and it's got Madeline playing violin, and I'm playing cello, so it's got a lot of strings in it, and singing and synthesizers, and it's pretty fun. So I'm excited to share that. It's a little strange. I've for a long time been dabbling in this other stuff and haven't really shown the classical world that stuff because I didn't think they would like it. But just when I posted a story recently with one of the songs that I did, you guys gave me such a nice response, and it was so lovely. So I feel emboldened to share more of it, whether you like it or not. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Laura Metcalf. Yeah, Laura's so great. I love Laura. She's a wonderful person, and yeah, actually the one time that I played with Laura in Break of Reality, because the way that Break of Reality works, the cello rock band that I also play in, is Patrick and the cellist and Ivan, the drummer, are always there. They play all the gigs because they're the co-founders of the group. And then they have two other cello parts, and they have like a rotating roster of people that they hire to play those parts. And Laura and I learned the same parts, so we almost never play together. There was one set of shows we did where Laura and I got to play together because I learned the other part so that we could do it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do the gigs. But it was super fun. So, Christopher, when I was younger, I played guitar. Becoming older, I lost interest in it. Super, you know, throw away the cello into the next best corner. Oh my gosh, yes, so much. I have struggled with that for a very long time. I think coming from a musical family, my grandfather is a cellist, and my mom taught piano for many years, and obviously my sister's a violinist, and yeah, I think I struggled with figuring out a way to make it mine. There was always this expectation that I would become a cellist, and this expectation that I would have a certain kind of career and kind of follow in my grandfather's footsteps, and it just never felt quite right. So yeah, I definitely wanted to quit a lot, and you know, besides all of that, it's hard. It's really hard, and you struggle a lot with, you know, feelings of inferiority and I'm not good enough, never will be. Look at all these people winning competitions, and yeah, it's really hard, and so you have to figure out what is it that you actually really love about it, and maybe you don't find something that you really love about it, and that's okay too. For me, I started to feel really satisfied once I started doing arranging and songwriting and commissions. I love my commissions. Those things that really get you excited, that make you want to go play your instrument. You know, we don't actually really just want to practice because it's like, yeah, oh, I'd love to sit in a room by myself and bang my head against the wall. Like, no thanks. But when it's in the service of a larger project that you actually really care about and are really interested in, I think that's what makes it all worth it. So keep it up, Christopher. Find your thing that makes you excited. Brian, oh thanks, Brian. Yeah, the GeoFutura stuff is really fun. We haven't been focusing as much on that recently because covers are hard. They, you can't really do a ton of covers because of the, you can't do a ton with covers because of the copyright stuff. So we're focusing more on doing original stuff and licensing it. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my voice is a little shaky because I'm actually really nervous. You guys are being so lovely. Thank you. Let's see. We've got another question here. When are those performances you mentioned coming out? Yeah, so the first one is January 30th, Saturday. And again, I don't know the time for that, but it's the El Paso Pro Musica. And then we've got another one, February, and then 2 more in March. And as quickly as I can, I'll release the videos for those concerts after the concerts, but we kind of have to keep them private until after the concerts are done. So, Samara Ginsburg? I don't know who that is. Who is that? But yeah, usually with like the copyright stuff, you have to be willing to at least, they make you pay money anytime you make money off of it, or they just ask you to take it down. So something I'd rather not even get involved with. So yeah, hey, we've got 18 people. Let's go. Thanks, guys. This is awesome. So fun. Yeah, let's see. What else can I tell you about? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look her up. I'm gonna Google her right now. Let's see. There's her YouTube. There we go. Oh, cool. Huh. I wonder what she uses. Batman. She did a Batman video.
Free. Free.
That's right. TurboTax Free Edition is free.
There must be something about my settings while I'm going live. I'll look at her later. But cool, yeah. Do I play another instrument besides cello? Well, I took piano lessons for like 9 years, and I remember one part of one piece. So I can act like I play piano for about 60 seconds. And then after that it all falls apart. So yeah, and then I played guitar for a while when I was in high school. I really loved my guitar. I'd carry it everywhere with me. I'd bring it to my classical concerts, and I was an angsty teen. So yeah, it'd be nice to pick it back up again because it's such a useful instrument. And then I also took some drum lessons for maybe a year, and I didn't have any drums. I just had a drum pad, and so I learned my paradiddles like that. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. It's just like, the time, learning a new instrument takes so much time, and I'm so low on time. I guess you could count voice as another instrument. Mariusz, is that how you say your name? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. That's so nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's actually a really nice comment. Having commitment and energy for next projects. Yeah, because that's what it takes. You get it. Madeline. Oh. Yeah, it took me a long time to learn how to record projects at a high level, and I still have so much to learn about that side of things. Oh, it's so, it takes, first of all, it's like, you know, an investment money wise. This microphone right here was like $1,100, and I used part of my stimulus check for that. And yeah, so you got to get some equipment. You got to get a mic stand, mic cables, the software, audio interface. Like there's that type of investment first, and then you really have to understand a bit about the settings on the microphone, and like, ugh, there's a lot. But yeah, probably a couple years, I would say, to where I am now, and it will take a couple years before I maybe feel like I really know what I'm doing. I still feel like such a noob. Oh, thanks, Christopher. Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, I think also as classical musicians, we are so used to criticizing ourselves all the time, because that's part of our job. We sit in a room and we criticize ourselves. And so we do have to learn how to also be kind to ourselves. So yes, I agree. Hey, Jake, do you have any advice for early career musicians? Yeah, I would say, you know, the biggest thing that I see in young musicians thinking about doing this professionally is they're modeling the idea of the career they want on an older model. So they look at, you know, older musicians and say, I want that career, but those careers are kind of fading now. It's kind of a winner takes all situation out there, I feel. So either you're Alyssa Weilerstein and playing with a different orchestra every single night, and or you're like not doing that, you know. There's not a lot in between. So I would say, you know, really think very carefully about what type of career you want and if that's reality, and you know, find your niche. That's also really important. I think especially today, everybody's got to find their little corner to be in. So yeah, Joe, will you share some guitar music? I love guitar, so I can't play. Oh, I wish I could, but it's been so long since I played guitar. I remember how to play a major and minor chord. And then I can do that up the neck and then down the neck. That's about all I can do now. Yeah. Let's see. One of the first LPs that I bought many, many years ago is when I was studying music. The box notes by Carlo Casals. Oh, cool. Yeah, those are so awesome. I obviously playing Bach is such an interesting thing because everybody's got a different idea about how it should be played. And I've thought a lot about that myself, and you know, I think in the old days, and especially if you watch someone like Misha Maisky, he has that like hyper romanticized version of how he plays it, and then there are other people who play it like quite cold and simple. And one of my favorite, like if you're looking for a like musical inspiration that's period flavored, is oh, what's his name? Shoot. Wistful-Way. There we go. Peter Wistful-Way. I love him. I love the way he plays. He's so awesome. And like he plays in a period style, and it's so expressive, and I really appreciate that. So yeah. Okay. The two doors in the background. That is a great question. So one of them leads to Narnia. The other is Hogwarts. I'm kidding. One of them is a closet. This one's a closet. And I've got all of my spare cellos in there. Maybe I'll show you. And then this one's yeah, in the closet I also have my dress form for when I have the time to do sewing. Yeah, in my spare time. But yeah, the other door is a hallway. It leads to the rest of the house. So, yeah. Awesome. You guys have been so great. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to end the stream here. Again, thank you all so much for being here. This is so cool. It's really fun talking with you, and it's fun just being able to kind of riff on things that I've been talking about. And so, yeah, I will let you know when I will do another one of these, maybe like once a month or something. We'll see. But yeah, and I'll have another challenge for people, and I'll think of some other stuff. So, oh, hi, Sarah. Awesome.